All right, we are live. What's going on, everybody? Hope you had a great trading day today. Let me just get this tweeted out here. All right, welcome. Okay, so yeah, what a day today. It was pretty good in the positive trends newsletter alert room, right? So it's open to right now. It's currently free to all newsletter subscribers. So get it while you can before the prices go up on that one. But yeah, we have a pretty amazing day today. So let's see. So a couple cool things that happened. Let's just take a look at the SPX. I want to start here on the weekly, just kind of give you an idea of what's going on here. So weekly, obviously, huge uptrend since since the December lows after it tagged the weekly 200-day moving average. Notice that tagged that and bounced right back up. Right, downward channel here breaks the upside. Upward channel here. This is on from our channel lecture that we did not too long ago. Broke this channel here to the downside, but still held within the cloud. And then last week or 2 weeks ago, we had a shooting star right over the cloud. So the cloud ended up proving as pretty good support. And then we had a nice green pop above that cloud there. And then we ended up gapping up this week. And this is actually very rare to have a whole week not fill a gap during that week. So if you kind of just go back here to just about like every day, every week in the past, right, at some point during that week, the gap gets filled if there's a gap, right? So, and that is pretty consistent across the board. So I would expect at some point, for this gap to get filled. So anytime we gap up, I'm looking for a fade. Okay, so that kind of explains where we're at today. Here's just a quick look here. We've got a doji day or a spinning top if you want to look at it, right here at the upper Bollinger Bands on the daily. So at this point, it's given us a potential indication to reverse. With that gap below, it just every time we gap up, it just gives me more of an inclination to fade the gap at a key opportunity. All right, so today that opportunity was here. We had a topping tail on the 60-minute chart, and then obviously a break of that ended up really working to the downside. Surely you could have traded, well, not surely, but absolutely you could have traded right off of that, certainly. But at the same time, there are other setups too. So we like to look at the 5-minute time frame and our floor pivot levels. And so just looking at those, we gap up today, right? Tagged this R1 level. Looked like it might have been a quick gap fade in the beginning, but it held, right? And so moving average didn't quite cross over, too quickly. So we had a nice move to the upside, right? And then look here, just so you guys know, don't think this is all mess, right? So this is and we've talked about this before, the Fibonacci spirals. From yesterday's high to yesterday's low, the spiral ended up coming right here, which is pretty close to where the top was. Now, you had to have been a little bit patient. If you just waited for a death cross here on the 5MA, this is was the start of a pretty nice move to the downside. At this point here, we were looking to go short, and then we had a nice push to the downside there. It ended up being, for those who stayed in, it ended up being a 10x trade on that, so that was great. That being said, so that kind of gives you an overview of the market there. Yeah, and I just wanted to make a point too. Is if you go to the daily, doji days aren't such a bad thing, right? So it's kind of a little bit of a theme of the day. Obviously, it's great to catch like a really nice up move like this. Now, granted, there could be more moves like within there, but a doji day, you're definitely assured of having a couple reversals that you could trade, right? So because we opened here, moved up, came back in at least at some point, tested the bottom, right, and then came back up again. So that was just kind of a look at what today's chart action looked like. Gapped up, right, or opened up, right, in the middle, went to the upside, downside, and then another push to the upside. So even though at the end of the day as a doji, right, kind of like there was a lot of nice movement intraday. So, and of course, this can be one way or the other. It could be kind of chop up, chop down, type stuff. But usually you get at least one decent move during the day, and so we like to capitalize on those the best we can. So that's that right there. So. So what do we think about when we look at today? It's kind of a move from R2 to R1, right? So not awful, right? But that ended up getting kind of pushed to the side, right? So the ultimate fade really started happening here, kind of in the afternoon, And so when do you start to look for those, right? So you just have to be ready, right? So typically most days don't go up completely like all day do, but ultimately a lot of times, especially kind of middle of the week, you start to get days where you look for those kind of fading plays. So I'm going to kind of keep my mind open to that. Tomorrow, of course, we'll react to whatever's out there. So today I just kind of wanted to touch on something else you could have looked at instead of looking at for the fade, right? You could have looked for just using the 60 anchors, right? So for newsletter subscribers, you get a copy of my book, The Secret to Trading the Open. We talk a lot about this kind of technique here, and so the 60 anchor. There's a few that came out yesterday. Just one to highlight. If you want to just focus on one thing, pick a. Twitter is a great one when it does it. I think they did it again tonight here, so we can definitely take a look at that tomorrow. But the reason why we trade these, right, is because the open is you have the most volume pretty much for the most part, unless there's some news that comes out later. You get the most volume of the day, right? There's your first hourly bar, right? So you get your most volume of the day, you get your most momentum, you get your biggest push, right? So, but the key is, right? The key to trading this is to understand your 60-minute time frame. Bar or a harami is it's indecision in price, right? So obviously here, Twitter, in fact, here you can kind of see it right here, right? You have this inside 60 bar right here, right? And then like which way is going to break? Well, it didn't break to the downside, right? So, didn't know which way it was going to go. So it stayed inside this price range. Then here, tried no break to the downside, kind of went here, and then boom, look at that, tick that up, and then all the way up here. And then it stopped at the end of the day. It said, I don't know which way I want to go. Well, so then if you look at its continuity between the prior day and the current day, you look for an opportunity to be, okay, what happened? All right, so it's like, boom, you got this kicker bar right here, so that makes you think it's going to be really bullish. But Twitter kind of went up a little bit this morning. We can go to the 5-minute chart in a minute. Twitter, went up a bit, right? And then it kind of came back down. And so at this point, it's you have to ask yourself, okay, well, is it going to break to the downside, or is it going to reverse, right? So in this case, right, the safest trade is to trade the break of the inside 60 bar, right? So, and Twitter is actually a really good one to use because look at that, the size of this bar is only 12 cents, right? So if you do common shares with this, great, it's really easy to control because the spreads are good, but even options are fine too, right? Even if you just did one option, just to experiment with it, right? So, or try these, go back in history with your Thinkorswim on demand and attempt those, right? So here, so what you would do is, okay, so you don't know which way it's going, right? You don't know which way the market's going. So you just wait, right? You look and see. So there's a couple key areas that you look at, right? So one is the 50% of the range of the bar, okay? If that's like your first kind of level to be like, okay, maybe this thing is going to do it, right? If it can't get through that 50% of that bar, look for a reversal back through it and then trade this break because what it's doing here, right, is price discovery, right? As we know, price doesn't like to leave gaps or open windows, right, in price between days or between time frames, right? So all this was doing is just discovering price, being like, let me retest this area. I gapped above this area. Let me retest this area, right, and see, if this is where I want to go, right? I was inside here for a reason, right? So did I want to go up or do I want to go down? I started up. Right, so you just kind of have to think about how price thinks, right? So, I started up, now do I want to break to the downside? And the point is it didn't do it, right? It didn't break to the downside, and so it didn't even get 50% of the range. So what you could do at that point is take a long after you're inside this range on the break there, and so the break there is 33.86, right? And it may have tested back down like one or two times, fine, 33.86, and then boom, look at that, like all the way up to 34, and then ultimately high of the day, 34.76. So a full point move on Twitter, which is a pretty big deal. So other factors that you can include in your decision-making process there, you can use some indicators, right? You can use RSI. You can look at direction of RSI. So if RSI is still pointing to the upside, right? It's just a idea on that time frame. It's still an indication that hey, maybe going long is okay. If you have multiple screens, right? You could look at your shorter-term time frames and just see what that's doing. You could also do it in comparison, with you guys know part of my rules is I like to see what the your I'll show you here. You go studies, right? Compare, and we've done this before with when we were doing the tick in the Tiki lectures. But you just go here, and you go compare with, and then custom symbol, and you can actually just embed the NQ on top of the chart, right? So you go here, NQ, boom, okay, and then okay, you can't see it right there. I don't know why it always does that, but here you can embed. It shows here is the purple line, right? And so here you can kind of get an idea of what's happening, right? So because it embeds over the chart right on this time frame. So so just here, right, you can see the NQ right at the open, right? It was kind of pointing down, but then it had a nice, kind of pivot right here, boom, to the upside, right? So you can kind of see what Twitter was doing, like down, right, kind of moving to the upside. Oh wait, NQs are going down, but here Twitter's already launching right at this point, and then it was all the way up from there. So you can kind of use that, but this was your gauge right here, just that that it was pivoting, it was coming back into this right here. Twitter came back. Look, it also happened to be the cloud low if you use the pre-market levels, and then this kind of line to the upside right here, that angle to the upside right here. Then you look at your other indicators too, like for instance momentum too, right? We talked about this the other day. Over zero, right, starts to get bullish, right? So boom, momentum's over zero. So you can combine a couple different things to be like, okay, I'm going to take this trade. But honestly, I think just using the hourly time frame is enough. As long as you're patient with it and know how to trade it. Right here, if you're going to go long here, you're not risking really anything, right? So 33.86, and then where's your stop? You could put it here at the low of this bar, 12 cents, 33.74. So a 10-cent risk, right? That's not a lot. Even if you did 1,000 shares on it, you're risking what, $100, right? So you just do your calculations when you're doing, options. Risk $100 on your options. So let's just take a real quick look here and just see what the options looked like. So if we did the calls, let's just say you did, I think you might have like 33.50s or something like that. Let's take a look. Let's look at today, or this week's. So here we go. Yeah, so I'm sorry, 34.50. So here. So let's just take a look. Let's draw a chart of these. So copy that, put it in the chart window. See what the calls looked like at the. See here, I'll use this with the Darvis box. So here, that was basically where you're. Say you entered here at like 21 cents. On the break of the inside 60. Kind of roughly in that range, say 23 cents. If you do 10 of those, right, that's $230. Chances are if it hit the low of the day, you're at 18 cents, right? So let's say you entered here, right, $24. So 18 cents, so it's 5 cents, 5-6 cents, right? Times 10, $60. You're really not risking much there. But to make, from 22 cents, all the way to a double, you make $200-300 off of that trade, right? So, or whatever your sizing is, multiply, scale out whatever your level is. So, but that's the point, right? So that's the idea, is that that you can take these trades. You don't have a lot of risk, and they're very reliable. These are just one of the greatest ways to trade the open. So I just want to share that with you guys. I hope you find that helpful. There's a couple of them get tricky. I'm not going to say this is this is just one of the ones. These are not. Twitter's really nice to trade. It gave us one for tomorrow, so you can use this as an example for tomorrow morning. And if you guys are members of the newsletter and I see something that's really good there, I'll tweet out an entry, something that I'm taking personally, so you guys can see that there. So, but yeah, so that's that. So I hope you find that helpful. At this point, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to plug those into the chat window, or if you have any chart requests too, we'll take a look at those as well, and get through as many as we can before 10 o'clock so everybody can get a good night's sleep. So good stuff. So what's going on, everybody? So Kei-chan, how's it going? Good to see you. Call Saw, hey, break even today. That's okay. Yeah, man, it's better than losing. So missing beauty moves, but that's how it goes. Sometimes looking forward to tomorrow. Can we look at NVIDIA if we have time? Yeah, absolutely, man. My pleasure. So NVIDIA was for all newsletter subscribers, this was our trade of the week. Okay, so with that, here's what we were looking at on the daily. We had this symmetrical triangle here, and kind of had we gapped up, so it was a little bit tricky. The entry was like somewhere like 180.50. It did pull back there, and a couple folks caught this, and then we moved up, had a doji day yesterday, and then just this off. It made this gap now. It's kind of closed below it, so the prior gap, so it may serve as some sort of resistance area. But my idea is that my suspicion is that it will consolidate a little bit and then eventually kind of move its way up to the 200-day moving average. So, and then to see where it is from there. But yeah, so NVIDIA is pretty solid. Let's just take another look here on the bar chart as we start going through these, so you can kind of see what I was thinking here. Originally, I was looking at wave 1 down to wave 3, and then looking for a wave 4 to wave 5. So this gap fill is my indication of a wave 4. So if we pivot here, we might get a pushback down, maybe to the pitchfork level, but possibly lower. We'll see. A lot of people have been really bullish, and today was just really, really nice follow through on that trade. So yeah, so that was a good one. Good one for the newsletter. NetFry, what's going on? UNH, sure. Let's take a look. Great stuff, though. I mean, I know you were talking VFF the other day. I mean, you've just had some amazing trades, so good stuff. So here we've been kind of looking, have this sort of shorter-term pitchfork right here. It's been kind of hanging on to this level at the median line, back down to this level, kind of working its way through these fib fan lines. So I'd like to see it get above this 257 for a push at 272. Just let's see if there's a kind of seeing a bit of maybe a downward trend line. So just kind of watch those. But yeah, I do like the consolidation here at the fib fan line and the pitchfork, so it still might get a push there as well. We got earnings coming up mid-month, so got a little bit of time to get it. Might get a little earnings run off of it, especially if the market continues to stay as bullish as it's been. It almost feels like 2017, right, where you could just buy any dip, right? So good stuff on that one. G10, what's going on? Yeah, awesome day today, man. Hope you did great too. Shirley, how are you? Good to see you. Okay, so G10, let's see. So CNC. Let's take a look. All right, yeah. So holding on to, I just love how when it holds this stuff, right? So still holding on to the fib fan line areas. Looks like it filled a gap. I mean, to me, it looks like it might kind of come down a little bit. I mean, everything's kind of pointing down, but it might come down a little bit, retest, and then surprise to the upside. It's very possible. I do like here, before we showed this bullish divergence on the RSI, it kind of tricked us out a little bit, but gave us another one. Nothing wrong with that, right? So still bullish divergence on the RSI, and that may have found some support here at this fib fan line. So you got earnings coming at the end of the month, so just keep that in mind. Starbucks and McDonald's. So yeah, so Starbucks has just been a beast, and I guess it could go as long as it wants to. So we were kind of stalking this one here not too long ago. We got pretty deep in the Elliott wave analysis. Here it looked like a wave 3, 1, 2, 3. Right, and so we were looking for a wave 5 top. So at this point, we kind of had this wave 4 down, right? Zigzag, or ABC, 335. So not a zigzag, but kind of flat down. And then we had this ascending triangle, and then Goldman Sachs downgraded it, right, to give themselves a nice entry for this, right? And we caught this long because we needed a break here when we were doing the wave count on it, right? It's an ascending triangle, and then boom, they gave it to us that next day, and then like that. It was just great. So a little bit of chop there, and then out to the upside. So at this point, if this were wave 5, this could have been a consolidation move here. So let's just move this up here, extend to the right. So it broke down here through that channel. This could have been it. This could have been your wave 5. So I had that there. Activate drawing, text. Right, that could have been it there. So wave 5, A, B, C, correction, right, and then it's working its way up. All right, so that could be a wave 1, maybe a pullback 2, and then up further. So I mean that's kind of what it's looking like right now. But yeah, very impressive move off of Starbucks. And then McDonald's is going to be on the. Thank you for bringing this one. MCG. What is that even a stock? Claymore. Yeah, so McDonald's starting to look a little bit bullish here. It's really, if Starbucks can take out the highs, McDonald's could probably do it too. We traded this back in the day here on the, we had a zigzag down. We caught this, we traded this here to the gap fill, back up, and then another wave C down. So we had our ABC correction here, and then to me it looks like we're working on a new set up, right? So we're working on an impulsive move to the upside. It looks like it's getting ready to do it. So I put this on the long radar for tomorrow just to see what it does. It needs to break out. It needs to break out that level, that 190.88, certainly. So, and it's trying. It's been trying. So, Prayer Kid, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Good job today with everything. Always good to see your ideas. Harvey, what's going on? Good to see you. Bruce, what's up? Harvey, SPX, of course. So obviously we looked at everything on SPX, right? But just and Harvey, of course, check out the members only video too, where I kind of get a little more detail on that. But yeah, so SPX. Pause here, upper Bollinger Band with the gap there. I mean, that's kind of the sentiment right now. Overall, it was pretty bullish, coming into like Monday and everything. And we got our gap up and a little bit pushed the upside, but every push to the upside now is turning into a doji, right? So it's not getting that type of follow through, right? So we'll see how these futures work, but I'm actually kind of hoping we gap up a little bit to look for another chance to fade. I would really like the ultimate fade over the next 2 days somewhere to fill this gap right here. That would just be sweet, right? Because that would be an awesome short, especially we got like a big red bar like this when we're short. That would just be fantastic. So unless you guys are long, then that. So SPX loves mom. Oh, sorry, I thought you had like a couple different. Yeah, SPX loves the. Are you talking about like momentum? Yeah, exactly. It is. It's fun to use with that. Absolutely. Pritesh, what's going on, buddy? Roku and Facebook. Yeah, so Roku got Amazoned again today. Everything's going fine, right? It was working its way up the trend line and all that stuff. At this point, it's actually pretty good to get some sort of consolidation move, maybe back down this trend line here. So just keep an eye on that 67 level for a possible bounce. But yeah, somewhere where there was something, I think maybe it was here, like they got Amazon, where Amazon was like, we're going to increase our competition with Roku or something like that. Boom, and all that. So, but I don't know, Roku's still pretty cool. So I really think it's going to get bought out someday. I think like maybe Apple or somebody's going to buy this company. So, but it is but good product. So there's Roku. But in general, let's see what we got going on. So we had we took a look at our, this is our trend line here from the lows. It kind of went below it here, tagged your volumetric level back up. So just see here if it consolidates here maybe for a day, and then look for another push to the upside. If it gives you like a little pennant there or something like that. So. And Facebook, yeah. So Facebook was another 60 anchor setup from last night. We had one for today as well. So Twitter and Facebook, those ones are really good to trade. So this is kind of one where you have to evaluate. So you could have taken this here to the downside, right? Because we opened right here, but then it pushed 174 all the way down to like 173. So that's actually not a bad move. At which point, you probably move your stops and you've got profit there. But if you kind of hold this level, right? If you draw a line here at that 60 anchor level, right? Look what it did. So it ended up closing right at that level, right? And the mother bar is not even too far above it. So and it closes a hammer. Okay, so that's an indication too, like kind of in the book, you look for these key areas where it gives you a new setup off of that key level, and so you can trade those intraday. And look how it held too as a support later, right? But that was your level, that was your key trade right there when it turned into a hammer, and then that gave you that more upside move off of that one. So, but in terms of where it looks like it's going, we've been kind of tracking this here, in the newsletter. We had this nice pullback, this pennant pullback here to the fib fan line, and then that nice breakout here, very similar to Nvidia, right? And then today, a bit of a topping tail on that. Let's see how that looks on the daily. Yeah, so real big topping tail on that. So just beware of that. Let me extend this to the right here. Extend to the right. There we go. So look at that. You have there. Bearish divergence on the RSI here, and it's holding that RSI trend line with a nice topping tail over the upper Bollinger Band. So at this point, 1, 2, right, 3 possibly up, and then down for 4. So see, it gives you a wave 4 down, maybe back to this fib fan line. It wouldn't cross over the wave 1, so that would be fine. And then so you'd be good, yeah, from there. If it look for another tag back to 170, and then possibly another push to the upside. So pretty good stuff there. What else we got? SMDC4S. Oh, thank you so much. LRCX, I think you mean LRCX, right? I get that mixed up. I'm pretty sure you mean this one. Can't stand missing those. Expected downgrade soon, right? Doesn't this look a lot like Caterpillar, like in a way? So, just had this, kind of came out of nowhere, consolidated, big push to the upside, then they downgrade it so they can get back in. So keep an eye on Caterpillar too as a potential long. It might consolidate for a little bit, but a lot of times these institutions do these downgrades so they can get themselves a position in it. So just be careful of that because it's already had a really big move to the upside. So look for some consolidation. There is a gap below, right? You are closed over the upper Bollinger Band. So far, RSI is not overbought yet, so there's some potential there. But at this point, I would just look for some consolidation. But if you caught that, congratulations. That was a really great move. Let's see what we got. Yeah, just pretty good. We tracked this not too long ago. The pitchfork broke the pitchfork, and it's just been kind of working its way up. So at this point, you can we can even draw something here. That looks pretty good. So there's your levels, right? That's kind of your areas. So just watch, how if it does pull back, don't let it get under 181, right? Because that's your trend line, and then possible move to the upside. So let's keep an eye on this one. Keep it on our watch list for some consolidation. So So that's a very good one. So call Saul, just sub today. Love you. Hey man, thank you so much. I appreciate you, man. And anything I can do, I'm just offer different perspectives. It's anything I can do to add value to folks. So that's my goal. Steven, what's going on? PYX, sure, yeah, let's take a look. Okay, very good. Yeah, so we've been kind of looking at this one. Boom. And so right now, I don't know. I can't remember why I have all these lines in here. I think I must have been doing an example of something. But let me take those out. There. Okay. So here, this. All right, there. Like a shower or something, like raining or sunbeams or something like that. Anyway, so something from Indiana Jones, but yeah. So what I'm seeing here is kind of like a head and shoulders, type pattern. So look for maybe a trick to the upside and then back down. But this level here is key, right? This 2571 is your volumetric level, right? You can see the volume profile in the background here. You see that big level right there. Lots of volume in here. Okay, so you're at a key level, right? So if it breaks to the upside, good. You might get up to 31, 3150. If it breaks to the downside, watch out below. Okay, so but it does look like it's putting in a bit of a head and shoulder. So look for a little trick to the upside and then down. Then you got your neckline and then a break there. You might come back and at least test the kind of like this lower fib fan levels there. So yeah. Shirley, what's going on, everybody? Screenshot Shirley's stuff and add them to your portfolio because usually they're all awesome. But seriously, and they are Shirley. But always make your own investment decisions. Educational purposes only. So let's see. So what we got? Why? Likes to jump around. Sorry, Shirley. Okay, yeah. So here's been working its way through this channel, right? Just trying to see if anything interesting. Not really. I'll draw a pitchfork here, just so you can kind of look and see, right? So mid pitchfork level is kind of right here. It's got to break over that 3045, and then I think your levels are cool. PLD. Prologis. Wow, look at that. So what is that? All-time highs or? These long-time highs, certainly. But wow, really nice move, Shirley. Yeah, at this point, it's through all its volume levels, right? Got a nice, see how this kind of holding here on this median line, right? So kind of holding that. So just, as long as it doesn't get too far below 72, it's got a lot of up potential, right? All the way, like I said, like very potentially up to the close to 80. So so that looks good. SPWR. Ooh, I like this. We can draw a right. SunPower, huh? Solar company? Yeah. Hold on. I really wanted to draw a fan line there, but that's cool. So really the point is that it's hanging out here low at the low ends of this volumetric channel. So your break area that you really, that 764, kind of in there. Then you got a couple pivots that it could work on. So that does have some interesting potential. You got earnings coming up too. Not too long, not too far out. XLK. Technology. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, obviously it's looking pretty good here. It's kind of mirroring the rest of the market, but let's just draw a fib fan line from this nice little blip that it gave us. There. So held fib fan, back up. Just yeah, kind of like a little neck break here. Neck break. Is that neckline break? It's not a wrestling move. And then there, and then kind of push the upside. Any of these pullbacks look almost look viable. Mike, what's going on? Baba. I'm hoping this looks really bearish, and it is. It's starting to. I mean, so we've been stalking this for a little bit. So we've got this this pitchfork level here. We have a couple action-reaction lines. So that was one key level right there through this volumetric level. So I would like to see this thing. So I had wave 1, 2. I'm looking for a wave 3 down. So this is wave 1, A, B, C expanded flat. And looking for some sort of wave 3 down. So this could have been 1, 2, and then nice push to the downside. So that's kind of what I'm hoping there for you, because I believe you're short of this. Let me see, and then let's see if we can find another reaction line that looks good. Looks interesting. Some stuff. Dupe. Okay, so there we go. I mean, it could, just be like, I know you don't mind holding on to these things, so this thing could be, it could push a little bit to the downside. But that's your next level, that volumetric level at 164, right? So just watch that. Then obviously we can get through there, then, boom, you're back down to the 140. So, but it's at this key level right now, so it needs to decide what it wants to do. Hopefully it's not doing this. Like a bull flag or something like that, and then a break to the upside. That wouldn't be cool. But yeah, so just keep an eye on that potentially. So, but just have stops in place. It's all good. Surely ATUS. Yeah. Now here's one. There's your bull flag right there. Break. And then it's got a lot of potential to the upside. So we just got to get through that pivot there. Then you have this pivot, this pivot, this pivot. Could work its way up nicely. Infi. Doing its thing, working its way up the pitchfork. So just see if it holds that, or if it pulls back, down to like 10 or something like that. So just be careful with that one. Just a little cheaper such thing. But it's over $10, so that does get institutions interested again. Carg. Cargorous. I love this stuff. There. Good, held nicely. Yeah, just watch that 4280 level for resistance. But if it gets to there, you got a nice volume air pocket right there to the upside. Wu Tang. Hold on, let's see. Wu. Potential consolidation. You did have this. Looks like a little mini trend line, type break in here, right? So that's nice push there, and then so look for that $20.33 could be interesting. Okta. Yeah, just doing its thing. Let's do a pitchfork on this. I like that, from the low to here to here. So just be careful, right? Not a lot of volume up here, right? So you don't want to be stuck at the top. It's lonely up there. Surely is a bot. That's right. No problem, Netprime. My pleasure. Bruce, that's funny. Post your news to my Instagram page. Hope you know what. Yeah, thanks, Bear Kid. It's like like copywritten and all that stuff, right? Like, I don't know what to say. Does anyone look at Instagram for finance? I think what did Mike say that one time? He said like posting pictures of your charts and like makeup and stuff. Shirley's not a bot, she's a robot. That's right. SMDCS, LRCX, yep, awesome. Pritesh, yeah, no problem. She's AI, that is correct. Robbie, what's going on? PM, Mo, and RF. Philip Morris, look at that. See, you can't keep these companies down, I tell you. What do we have? We had a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, A. See if it holds that level there. 85 could be a B to the downside. Could be working on a B. We don't like trading wave Bs, right? We wait for the B to complete, so because it might actually end up down here, and then boom, see to the upside. So what I'm going to do is I'll just, if we come back to this down the line, just remind me of it. But I want to see a B, and I want to see then a C at that point. So it's kind of what I'm seeing on this one. That's why it's fun to have Elliott Wave when you go back and kind of check your wave counts and see where you're at. MO. The safety stocks. Let's see. So, yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. This could be working a little bit differently than the other one. This could be kind of like a zigzag up. So just watch for an ABC pullback and then another shot to the upside on that one. And then RF regions. All right, good stuff. We kind of tracked this not too long ago. We had this trend line to the downside. It did break. Let me just extend to the right just so you can kind of see it. Kind of held here, so just kind of keep that in mind. Let's see if we've got anything interesting down here. Let's just do from that trough to the peak. Just see what it looks like here to here. Okay, yeah, so it's kind of within these levels. So just see if it holds here, consolidates at this 14. Maybe for a push up to like that kind of 17 area. Yeah. Fry night list. Yeah. Welcome for a robot. You in the Matrix right now. I just don't know it. That's right. She's the architect. I'd change my name to Mike only if robot. Okay. What is going on here? SMDC4S. Is it just me the screen a blur day? Sorry if it's a blur, but also check your settings too. Quality. You click on that little widget and then set your quality to like higher or like HD or something like that. It usually comes through a little bit better. That's what I've heard. So old school solar, like the buddies, Plug and all those guys. Yeah, back in the days when solar was like supposed to be everything. Maxat, what's going on? First time watching yours. Hey, welcome in. Appreciate you. Let's take a look at Bank of America. Sure. Bank of America was interesting. It was had this gap up right here, and hold on, there it goes. So I had this gap up, and really looked like it was going to break down. It did break down past this this support level, right? So here's your gap support where it came, right? So you had this nice gap up, first time whenever it started earnings season, boom, like support, and broke down, but not so fast. Gap fill, right? Boom. Like that, right? Nice move right through that congestion zone. So there's a little gap below, so just be careful there. Might pull back a little bit again, retest the support, but any consolidation back to this level looks like a long to me. So keep that in mind there. Sorry guys about the blurriness. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I could set it here, but I don't know. Just set it to HD. Just click on your thing and click to HD. Maybe it'll be cleaner. Sorry about that, y'all. I know, yeah, Mike. You bring in the silliness. We love it. Have about 50. I know. All right. So Baba dip was because the second biggest shareholder was selling. Okay, cool, awesome. No problem, Harvey. Awesome. Surely momentum screener. Not really. Just curious. Lots of good stuff. Just scans from different website. Awesome. Nothing really special. Well, you find some good ones. Surely, there's no doubt. No problem, Ravi. My pleasure. Bruce, have a good night. All right, guys. Well, thank you everybody for joining in. Everybody new who's following along. Really appreciate you guys. You could always just follow on Twitter if you guys found us through YouTube. Check out our newsletter. It's a really great deal with the newsletter. You get a weekly newsletter, plus you get free, for now, a Twitter feed with trade alerts, educational trade alerts and all that stuff, of stuff I take intraday. We had a 10x trade that set up today in the live feed. We look at the 60 anchors and all that good stuff. So check it out. I'll take care of you. So enjoy, and hope you guys have a great night. Thank you, Shirley. GBTC, that's not a ticker, is it, Mike? GBTC. Grayscale. Oh, that's right. That was your chart request. Thank you. I forgot about that. This thing's rocking, man. So it's got a ways to go to catch up from its meteoric rise. But it's definitely got some movement today, so it's pretty exciting. It's already overbought here, so just be careful with that. But it might go up to this pivot here, the $7.75. You never know. So good stuff. But anyway, guys, appreciate you guys. Nice. Everybody have an awesome night. Safe day tomorrow. I'll tweet out some game plan ideas and all that good stuff, and I will. Yeah, he is. So appreciate everybody, and have a good night, and we will talk to you guys tomorrow. Okay.